Hi moms, welcome to our bonus episode number 2. This is the second episode that we ever recorded for you, our Gather Mom listeners.
Yes, and we wanted to talk to you about how we became friends.
I know you're all wondering that right now. You really are. You're thinking in your head, how in the world did these two people meet?
I love a good Genesis story. This was the second thing we ever recorded. We actually had a little bit more of a plan on this one.
Some technical difficulties.
We did still have some technical difficulties, but we mostly worked them out. So you're going to see so much more professional than episode 1. Well, not so much, but a little bit more professional.
She's giving us a little too much credit.
All right, so we hope you enjoy getting to hear how we became friends. Let's go. Hey moms, my name is Kate Henderson, and this is my co-host, Rebecca Bradford.
Welcome to Gather Moms, a show dedicated to laughing, learning, and leaning into all things mom.
We believe there truly ain't no hood like the motherhood, and that we need each other to do this mom thing. We also believe we truly can't mom well without Jesus, so you're going to hear us talk about him too.
Gather is a part of a whole community for moms, and we would love for you to join us. You can find us on Facebook or Instagram at Gather Moms. This week,
your turn.
We are going to have to move that line up because I just feel like I'm just like, oop, done with that line.
Yep, should have just kept going. Hey, for our listeners, we actually have an outline this week.
Guys, we are stepping it up, right?
We are,
professional.
Super professional.
Thank you for joining us for episode 2, where once again, you get to hear all our mishaps and faux pas. All right, mamas. This week, we are turning the clock back 12 years.
Isn't that bananas?
That's like a preteen. To the day we met.
Correct.
We had a baby.
Yes.
Just kidding. That's weird.
No, because I clock it by how old Caleb is how old.
Yes.
Caleb, my oldest son.
Yes.
For those who don't know me personally. I clock it by how old he is. So that's when we met.
That's it.
So I have to read my next slide. My next slide says, right.
That's so happy. Good job.
We thought it would be fun to tell you all how we became friends and have stayed friends, and then talk about the very necessary thing of mom friends and how to get them and how to keep them.
That's a lot of words.
It is. So we're going to have to figure out how to have an outline and not let the outline make us nuts. And the people that are trying to listen that are like,
bless your heart.
Just talk.
Bless them.
Yes. We're trying to have some order.
That's right. Hang with us, people. It'll get better, I promise.
Okay, so let's set it up. How did we meet? The genesis of our friendship 12 years ago.
Bible word.
Where were you 12 years ago?
In the Garden of Eden.
No, just kidding. What was your life status 12 years ago? How many kids did you have?
Okay, 12 years ago, I had one kid. So my oldest is Jacob. He's 14, so he was 2 at the time.
Yep.
And I was working at Lake Pointe Church as the girls minister on staff. I did middle school and high school girls. And honestly, I have no idea what prompted me to take a woman's Bible study. I don't know if I had just had the 2-year-old and I was like, I need mom community, so I'm going to go do this Bible study. I don't know if I was... because I had never done one before.
Right.
So I joined this women's Bible study at the church. Honestly, this might sound bad. I don't remember the title of the Bible study.
Oh, no.
And I don't remember what we talked about.
No, clueless. No,
Nothing.
I have no
I
idea.
got nothing.
No.
But I remember what you were wearing the first day I met you.
You do?
Girl, I don't know why the details in my mind do this.
That's the sweetest thing.
Okay, you tell me if you remember this outfit. It's a brown dress.
Okay.
It's real cute. And I don't know what your shoes were, and you had your hair down because you always wear your hair down.
A brown dress.
A brown dress.
With buttons on the front?
I can't remember if it had buttons.
I'm so cute.
But I remember looking at you thinking, oh my gosh, she's so cute.
Oh, that's so sweet, Becca. Okay, so you were, you kind of jumped ahead a little bit there.
Oh, my bad.
We met at a women's Bible study. Okay, so you had been, how many years had you been the girls minister for?
Well, now I got to do math. Okay, so it was 12 years ago, and I was at the church like almost 15. So I'd probably only been at the church like 2 or 3 years.
Right.
Not that long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Semi-new.
Yes.
Super fresh and young and spunky.
Oh, all the time.
Peppy.
All the zeal.
Yeah.
All the bright-eyed.
Right.
Let's do all the things, girls ministry, except for lock-ins. I refuse.
Oh, good. Oh, good. See, that's why we're friends.
Not a thing.
Those things are terrible. Okay, so that was your status. You were married. Greg was the youth pastor at Lake Pointe.
Yes.
And you guys, how long had he been there?
Well, he had already been there probably 10 years.
Really?
Oh, gosh. I'm sorry, people. This math is like messing me up. He's been there a long time. But he was only there for a couple years before I came, so maybe he'd only been there 5 or 6 years.
Okay. That seems more likely.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
So-
old. How am I supposed to be remembering all these things?
No, you're not. I'm just trying to set it up because we've actually been friends for a long time.
Let's think how old we were. How old were we? I'm 41 today. 12 years ago would have been 29.
Okay. So how old am I? 37. So 12 years ago, I was 25 when I had Caleb. So I was 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like 3 years older than you, so I was maybe 28.
Yeah. A baby.
20s.
We were
were
babies. Yes.
Yes.
So Jeremy and I had just moved back to Rockwall. He had been a youth pastor, and we had been in a church, and there was a church split, and it was bad, and he was from here. So we came back here because we were kind of familiar with it, and just kind of thinking we were just kind of waiting for our next ministry call where we were supposed to go. And in the meantime, a friend hooked him up with a job, and we started going to the church we go to now, Lake Pointe, and just were kind of showing up. We had never just come to church.
Right.
When you do ministry, you're working there
all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you have obligations, and there's, things you're paying attention to and everything. And so it was really cool for us just to show up at church and then leave.
Yes. Go home. Go out to lunch on Sunday.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
No obligations.
What?
Yeah. I feel like that makes it sound bad when you serve. It's not. It's serving is wonderful.
Girl, we keeping it real. Okay.
All right.
I'm not going to lie. This whole Corona break,
Oh,
I had my weekends back for a while, and it was glorious.
it's been really nice.
Glorious.
No soccer games, no baseball games.
Amazing.
Okay.
Yes.
So we were living in Rockwall, and we were just kind of show up at church, and I didn't really have any community here. Thankfully we had my husband's family kind of, but and like you were saying, I'd always led Bible studies, and I had never gone to a women's Bible study. I feel like I barely qualified as a woman at that point,
So true.
right?
Right.
You're like, can I go to a women's Bible
Yes.
study? I'm 25,
Well, I was heading towards 30. I'm pretty sure people were like, it's about time. Get yourself in there.
But, you're kind of like, who goes to women's Bible studies? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we were the youngest ones in the room.
Yeah, I feel like.
No doubt.
Yeah. And I just it sounded interesting. I think at the
Beth Moore?
time, it was a Beth Moore study. And at the time, it was the teaching pastor's wife who was teaching it. So I felt like, oh, this will probably be good.
It's all
Do you
coming
remember
back
that?
to me.
Yes.
It's all coming back to me.
And so I went and had to check Caleb into childcare. It was the first time I had ever put him in childcare. And I don't know.
Was he wearing a 3-piece suit?
He, that little boy, he used to be so handsomely dressed all the time.
Every time I saw this kid, he had like a sweater vest and khakis.
Shut up. I always wear a sweater vest. Rebecca always remembers the one Easter I made that kid wear a sweater vest.
He looked so good. I was like, oh my gosh, because I had a boy too, and I had never done that. I was like, oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah, that's not our situation anymore. So anyway, I remember you spoke up during the study, and I remember thinking, oh, she sounds cool. I feel like I like her. And then do you remember our conversation, how that happened after that Bible study that day?
I don't remember how I got over to you, but I think I remember what I said to you.
Yeah, you walked over to me, which I feel like this has so much to say about what we have to say about mom friends, because you did the hard thing and you walked over to me and you were like, hey. And I want to say something like, I'm the girls minister here, and you seem like you'd be a great fit,
No, I said, you look so fun and trendy. I think girls would love you.
Oh,
you
see,
should
that's
come
so
do
much
girls'
better.
ministry.
That's so much better.
Yes.
And then you invited me to lunch.
I did?
Yes. You invited me to lunch.
No way.
Yes. But see, this is so important. I hope our story is like a learning thing,
Yes.
for other people. But you invited me to lunch. And at the time, I had written the Freshman 15, which is the study that I wrote for girls who are going into college. 15, not the 15 pounds. We need to just clarify.
There's truth there. Should we write a book that's called The Corona 15?
Oh, gosh.
That's your next one.
Yes.
Freshman 15 and the sequel.
Oh, my goodness.
Corona 15.
Well, they call it the COVID-19.
That's too many words for me. Why can't we just call it Corona? Why we got to say COVID-19?
I know. It feels really clinical. So this is a funny thing. I feel like we use Corona and COVID-19 in different. COVID-19 is the more like clinical, right?
Yes.
We're like talking about very asymptomatic.
Going in the history book.
Okay.
Yes.
But when we're talking about the Rona, it's more like this like season of life. Isn't that funny?
But you know what? That's what we talked about the other night at our little friend dinner, that Corona is like, it's everywhere. Like that's like the virus, right?
Yeah,
the flu virus.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's everywhere. Like it's been around forever.
Sure.
I think they said cows had it. Did you know that? Cows have the Corona?
Hey, this is a cow trail. It's different than a rabbit trail. Hey, after our last episode, we were like, we need to pick which one of us is going to keep us on track.
Oh, I guess Kate got it this time.
I'll pick up the mantle.
All right, we back on it.
So you took me to lunch, and I told you, I said, hey, I've kind of written this material, and I feel like the Lord is leading me to make this into a study, but I don't know what to do or how to move forward with it. It was really at that first lunch that I told you about it, and your eyes lit up, and you said, this has to be a thing. And so Rebecca, from like day one, started investing in me as a friend, and we kind of came up with a plan. You were like, I want to do this as a retreat for my senior girls. I mean, Becca, like we met that summer and we did our first retreat, like March of that?
Yes.
Because Judd was born.
Was
right
I
after
pregnant?
that.
I was pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I
Yeah.
was. Yes.
So Rebecca helped me. She became like my editor, and I would turn in chapters to her and she would edit them for me. And I guess it was a tit for tat, because around that time, then you started pulling me in to help teach Bible studies.
I had all kind of ideas for you. This ain't just about your book. I need a volunteer for this.
Yeah, you did.
I need a warm body sitting here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so then we started serving together in
Yes.
girls ministry.
Yes.
And
But I was right. The girls loved you.
Oh,
Hello.
well,
Now
I
you
love
still talk to
them.
them on Facebook.
We do have Facebook.
Yes.
And well, we do. We have so many girls that we're still really close to.
Yes.
Um,
They're mamas now. They might be listening right now.
yes, they're mamas
goodness.
now. We've married them
Full
all.
circle.
Yes.
Yes.
And so I'm trying to think of then kind of how we progressed after that. Well, we just started, I feel like we had such a cool symbiosis.
I don't even, what is that word?
I knew you were going to stop down when I
Yes,
said
what?
it. When we would get together and brainstorm stuff or like plan out events or Bible studies, it was like, I don't know, this like God magic where
yes.
the engines fire and you kind of come up with ideas and it's just like easy.
Yes.
You know?
It's your passion area. It's something that you are excited to do, and you find somebody else that's excited to do
Right.
it. And then, there's just no stopping you.
Right.
You're just like, send us off.
Yeah.
Get on the train. Let's go.
Because I feel like that is one of the things that has kept us close friends all these years.
Yes.
Because when you are first a mom and you have mom friends, it's usually because maybe your kids are the same age.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And you just need somebody to like get down in the pit with you and be like, girl, I feel you.
Yes.
Yes.
And so when your kids are the same age, then that kind of makes it easy because they're maybe playing on the same sports teams, or I don't know, you kind of do things together at the same age.
Yes.
But if they aren't, then as they start to grow up, then it becomes a little bit more, it's not necessarily super convenient.
No, it's not. Because I feel like that's my new phase of life, is where my kids are going in these different directions. And some of my other friends, their kids are not there yet. And so you kind of feel alone in these different areas, and you have to make it more of a priority to meet with the people that you love.
That's right. Yeah. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the people that I have been able to stay close to as the mom stuff has changed are the people that are like on mission with me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. You're seeing each other at church. You're serving together. You're asking them to hold you accountable to be a part of not just like your outside life, but like your inside life.
Yes.
Like, how am I doing as a person?
Yes. Okay, so tell me, what do you think is the difference between a mom friend and just like a friend? Like, what makes a mom friend a mom friend?
Are you a mom? Yay! Winner.
I mean, really? That's it. I mean, seriously.
Because I have friends that aren't moms too, and we have sweet friendships as well. But
Yes.
there is definitely a bonding agent when you have held a small child and it's pooped on you.
Correct.
I don't know, right? Or thrown up in your hands.
Rebecca
That's a whole nother
has
story.
caught my son's throw up in her hands.
Y'all, that is
a
the
friend.
mark of friendship right there.
We were driving to a conference, and my son came with us because he was going to stay at my parents' house where the conference
This
was.
was early in our friendship too, wasn't
Early
he? Like
in our
3?
friendship. Yeah, he was little.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're driving, and Caleb starts to say, Caleb's my oldest that's now 12. But Caleb, I don't know, kind of starts to moan or whatever. Rebecca's in the passenger seat. I'm driving. And then he starts throwing up. Rebecca, I mean, on impulse, turns and catches the throw up.
I don't know what it was. I was just like, put your hand out, Rebecca. Oh, there it is.
She did.
Don't drop it. I took my seatbelt off too. We were totally being illegal.
Oh my goodness. It was like the mark of true amazement friendship. Seriously. And then we pulled the car over and we had to like dump out the
Okay,
throw
here's the deal.
up.
Like, I'm pretty sure we had like baby wipes or
Yeah.
something, but I had not washed my hands.
No,
So
you had to drive the rest of the way. I think we still had like 30 more minutes or something until we got
maybe
there.
so.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm like, don't touch your face. It's like the Rona. Don't touch your face.
Yeah.
Don't move your hand.
Yeah.
Leave them in your lap.
So you were my first mom friend because I was a new mom. And
Yes.
so I always think of you as my first mom friend.
Oh my gosh. Do
I
I need
know.
a trophy?
Isn't that special?
I need a t-shirt, something.
And you would tell me things about being a mom. You know, you've always been kind of a step ahead of me in the
Yes.
mom thing.
Yes.
And so you'll kind of you are very good about giving me tips and insights, or kind of letting me look a little bit forward without freaking me out.
It's going to get really bad. Hang on.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Like, okay, one of the first things I learned from you is the story I tell about the corn, because we were talking
Yes.
about how hard it is to keep, things clean at the bottom of the high chair or whatever.
And we all know that you like things clean.
I do like things
Y'all,
clean.
when we got here today to do this podcast, this chick right here is cleaning her cabinets and her counters, and she's like wiping everything down. And I'm looking around going, I didn't know you were supposed to wipe that. Okay. Note to self, go home and wipe that in your own kitchen.
Whatever. No, there were
Truth.
just crumbs
Truth.
everywhere. So when I was waiting for her, I just wiped down the counters. I really try not to do that. I'm trying to be a person who y'all can just
You
show
don't have
up.
to be dirty, though. It's
Well,
okay.
I know. Okay. Well, that's good. So what were we talking about? Corn.
Yes.
So Caleb would eat corn and it would fall on the floor, and you can't really sweep it.
That stuff is sticky.
Yeah,
and
it gets
moist.
stuck in the broom. Okay, don't say that word anymore. So I was complaining about that to Rebecca, and she was like, "Oh, girl, you leave that corn till the next day
That's right.
because it is
Dries
dry."
up overnight, and then you just suck it up with the vacuum.
Yes.
Rice too. That's my big one is rice.
Yeah, rice
Because
too.
rice is sticky. So you just leave it overnight.
Yes.
And we don't have pets, so I don't have anybody to like lick it off the floor. So
Yeah.
no,
I
just
know.
leave it
That's
there.
that's the really one big win of pets.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then when I was having my second kid, and we met for Starbucks when Lydia was a baby, and I was having to come and tell you, hey, I'm going to have to pull out of some girls ministry stuff because I'm overwhelmed. And I remember I'd put Caleb he was at like Mother's Day out or something, and I had Lydia in the little carrier. And we met at Starbucks, and I was like, I'm so overwhelmed. And you reached your hand out across the table, and you said, I didn't think I should warn you. You were like, I knew it was coming.
Yes.
But, you were like, I didn't think it was the right thing to do to tell you, like, this is going to be crazy hard,
that's a hard struggle with mom friends is like, how much do you share?
Right.
Because sometimes, it's one of those things where I learned by experience certain things, and there's certain things you just have to get in the middle of it before you figure out.
Right.
And even if somebody on the outside says this is coming, I think some of us are like, no, it's not. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah.
Right? Like before you have that first kid in the hospital and you're like, this is glorious. They sleep all the time. Oh my gosh, my life is awesome.
Yes.
And you just want to say to them, oh, friend, the next 4 weeks might be the most difficult of your life. But you don't. And then 2 weeks later, they call you and they're like, oh.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, it's okay.
Yes. Yes. Because you can't really brace them for how bad or even how wonderful.
You said how bad.
Yes. You can't. And it doesn't do them any favors. And you might say, oh, it might be rough,
Yes.
And then when they really get in it, you're like, yeah, I know.
Let's just hug.
Is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So why do you feel like it's important to have mom friends?
Well, I mean, you need somebody to do this thing with. You cannot go through mom life alone. There are so many things that honestly you can't get around. It's almost like, when we drive to Austin, we live in Dallas, so we're here in the Dallas area. And when we drive to Austin, there is traffic that you cannot get around it. I mean, they are doing construction on I-35 all the time.
Yes.
So you just go into it knowing there's going to be issues that I'm going to have to deal with, and I can't get around it. And even if I detour, it's just going to take longer. So I feel like sometimes in motherhood, there are things that your mom friends just are going to have to go through. Yeah. You can't save them from it.
Right.
So because I can't save you from it, the only thing I can offer you is my presence.
Yes.
So I can just sit in the car with you.
Yes. Yes.
So I can go with you on the journey, and I can cheer you on, and I can give you some helpful hints and tricks.
Yes.
But if nothing else, I just have to love you through it.
That's right.
And so we need a mom friend that's willing just to sit in the car.
That's right. Oh, that's so good, Becca.
Girl, we're about to go on vacation. I'm already thinking about the traffic. You want to come sit in the car?
Gosh, I just love that. I love that because I think that's what a mom friend is. They're not necessarily trying to fix it or change things for you. They're just there and they get it and they understand.
You need somebody that gets it. You just need someone that can nod their head and go, girl, I understand.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so why do you think it's hard to find mom friends and keep them? So why is it hard to find them?
So I think, honestly, I did not remember half the story that you just told of our first meeting.
Really?
So this was a little bit like, oh, story time. This is so fun. But you totally hit on the number one thing, which is initiation.
Right.
Too many of us assume that someone's going to come to us and say, I want to be your best mom friend.
Right.
And so we sit and we wait, and it never happens.
Yeah.
And then we start playing these stories out in our mind. Nobody likes me. Nobody wants to be my friend.
Oh, that terrible. Yeah.
And it's not true because honestly, the other mom is probably sitting in her house waiting for somebody to come to her too.
Yeah.
So we have to be people that initiate. When I see somebody that I like and I'm like, I would love to get to know them better, you just step out and you go, hey, let's go to lunch.
Yes.
Hey, can I come have a play date at your house?
Yeah.
You just have to be the initiator. And sometimes you might get a reject, You might find a mom that's in the midst of something that doesn't have time or can't do it. And honestly, that's okay because you might just be the voice in her head that she needs someone to say, keep going, don't stop.
Yes.
But you just have to be able to be a person who initiates.
That's right. Don't be afraid. I feel like we get asked regularly. Rebecca and I get the chance to kind of teach moms sometimes and do things. And one of the topics that is always brought up is mom friends. Mm-hmm. And because it is a struggle for folks. And so one of the things I feel like that I've compared it to is dating. Because there has to be somebody. But I guess, in our culture predominantly, in dating, the guy is coming up to us.
They should be.
Don't
even get me started
asking
on a man's
us
role in dating. I'm about to tell you people. All right, that's another episode.
Asking for the phone number, initiating the first date.
Yes.
And so we are not used to having to be in that role.
Yes.
And so it's kind of, you kind of have to be the dude. When you see, like you're
that's
saying.
That's a tweetable. Somebody tweet that.
When you see somebody that you're like, man, I think we could be friends.
Yes.
That you just swallow your pride.
Yes.
Because it's worth it. Just go up and have the conversation.
And don't expect to be best friends off the bat.
No.
Just like in dating, you might go out on a couple dates and go, man, you're a really nice person, but I don't know that we're going to mesh.
Right.
That's A-okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, you cannot have too many people that you know. Let's just know them all.
Right.
And then you find those people, just like we talked about earlier, when there's a passion they have and a passion you have, and those passions meet up.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, let's do this more closely together.
Right. And it could be, you could meet them at library story time. You could meet them at the park. You could meet them, hey, huge plug for church.
Huge plug. Yes.
Because you can meet so many moms at church, doing like a mom's Bible study together. I mean, there's all kinds of things.
Yes.
And so, just to put yourself out there and know that this mom friend thing is something that you need that you may have never thought about until you became a mom.
Oh, so true, right? Because it kind of feels like when we were in high school and college, we had like all the friends
They're
we
just
needed.
around.
Right? Everybody's there.
Yes. But it's hard. I feel like one of the things that's hard about it right now is, you might have a husband and then you may have a job, you may have several kids. So it's not, in that way, it's so different than what our childhood friends were like. Our elementary, our middle school, our high school friends, even our college friends, because we may have had a few things going on there, but now you probably have a spouse that is hopefully your best friend,
yes.
That you're spending time with.
You got dinner to plan. You got a sports practice to go to. You got laundry to do.
Right. And then you've got your kiddos. And so there's just this small amount of time. And so it can be hard to find the time for mama friends.
Yes. So true.
So let's say that we find them. We got our friends. Now, how do we keep them?
Buy them things. I mean, honestly, I'll stay.
That is actually very true for Rebecca.
I'll take it. Yeah, girl.
Rebecca's love language is gifts.
I love them.
And they don't, thankfully, they don't have to be expensive gifts.
No. Target dollar spot for
I find things for Rebecca in the Target dollar spot, and I leave it on her porch, and I know that I've just deposited $1,000 in her love bank.
Yes. That's so true. Okay, husband, are you listening? Go ahead and take note of that. All right, thank you very much. I think that sometimes we sabotage our own friendships, okay? So you find a mom friend and you're enjoying time together, and I think there's another story that plays in your head that says she's going to get tired of me. She's going to find somebody else that she likes better.
Yeah.
I think that we have such a poor self-image of ourselves that we put that weight on our friendships, and we assume that the other person is going to see our flaws and find out the real truth and then not want to be friends with us anymore.
Yes, gosh, that cuts deep, yeah.
And I just think that all of us have these areas where we're hurting and struggling, and we might be trying to hide them, and we might try to put out a persona that we are better than we are. But don't make an assumption about somebody that they're not going to like you for the truth.
Yes.
Because I really believe that the friends that you want to keep, the ones that are your forever friends, are the ones that can get in the grit with you.
Right.
And it can be really nasty sometimes, and you have to fight it out and talk it out and work it out. But on the other side of that journey, you're like, I'm so thankful I had somebody to do it with me.
100%. So I would say, hearing you say those things, my two tips would be, number one, be authentic. Like you're just going to have to. You're just going to have to be transparent and authentic. If you want to have a real friend, you just have to go there with it.
Yes.
And don't hold things back. I love that you accept me for being a clean freak. And it doesn't seem annoying to you, you know?
Oh my gosh, it's my inspiration.
Well, but that's great because I think I even caught myself just a minute ago wanting to like change that part of myself. And you're like, no, that's who you are,
Girl, like I said, I'm going home to open the microwave and be like, is there a crumb in there? I'm like, get it.
Oh, that's what you saw me doing.
Girl,
that's hilarious.
She wiped the buttons, people. Do you wipe the buttons on your microwave? I mean, we touch it all the time now.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my gosh, there's germs all over that.
Yes.
I'm going to do it.
Just a quick swipe.
I'm going to do it.
Yes. So gosh, what were we talking about? Oh, being authentic. But that when you're having a hard time, that you shoot a text and you say, I am in the pit.
Yes.
Or can you go for a walk? Can we meet for coffee? Can you come over? Whatever it is, and just be real with what's going on, because those are how we build the friendships. And then the next thing I would say is to assume the best.
Oh, so good. Yes.
Because, in our mom friendships, you're not going to talk to your mom friends like we did with our high school friends, where it's like texting all the time, talking all the time. There's just not margin for that.
No. And sometimes you could go days without contacting each other. And then it's like, do they not want to talk to me anymore?
Exactly.
Maybe they're too, they did a thing and they didn't invite me.
Right.
We constantly jump to the worst possible scenario.
And so, my advice for that would be just assume the best.
Yes.
Until you know otherwise. Unless you find out that, yes, they were, angling to hurt your feelings by taking a selfie with their other friend at a restaurant, which I just don't think that really, I don't have room for that.
In Hollywood, it happens.
Yeah. I don't have room for that as a 30-something-year-old, to be playing games with my friends.
Come on.
So just assume the best. If they're not texting you back, it's probably because they are in the weeds.
Yes. So reach out first and be like, hey, how you doing?
Yes. And if you don't hear back, it's okay. Yes. Just give them a minute.
Drive by their house. See if their car's in the driveway. No,
yes. Or leave flowers or, drop off some muffins. Do something nice instead of just assuming that they are trying to ghost you, because they're probably not. They probably
ghost you. That's a good term.
Going on. Yes.
Is that like a trendy word?
Oh, I'm in the hip lingo, Rebecca.
Oh my gosh, I want to learn this. Ghost you. I'm going to use it in a sentence today.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Well, that can be your one thing.
Oh, that's my one thing.
So transitioning. We like to talk about what is the one thing that you want to take away from as we think about mom friends. What is the one thing for you today, as we wrap up this conversation? What's the one thing that you want to walk away with, remembering as you think about mom friends?
I think I want to lay down my judgment hammer. I want to lay down the idea that I can know what's going on in someone's life just by the outside, right? Just by like a picture on social media or I think that we have to remember that we are all doing this thing called motherhood, right? We all have good days and bad days. We have good seasons and bad seasons. Sometimes we're killing it as a mom, right? And that's awesome. The last thing I would want is for someone to look at me during that season and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that,
Yeah.
Like I want someone to cheer me on and go, good job, girl.
Yes.
Because tomorrow it's going to be rough and I'm going to need someone to like come in and help like pick me up off the floor.
Right.
And maybe have some crumbs on my shoulder they have to wipe off.
Yes.
But I do think that in motherhood, we are so quick to judge each other when honestly we have experienced the same thing ourselves.
Yes.
So I have no right to lay that hammer on anybody else. I need to see all mamas as people that are in this tribe together,
right,
trying to do the best for our children and our families and make it through what we would consider the craziest world of all time right now.
Yes. And so when you feel that little impulse to be like, oh, what is she doing? Or why is she doing it? That we just let that go.
Let it go.
Lay it down. Yes.
Let it go.
Oh, good.
Oh, that
you just sung into
I
the
did
mic.
not hit that note. No, y'all can learn something about me. I do not sing.
Oh, that's how you know you're a girl mom. I mean, anytime I say let it go, I want to sing it.
I want to sing it. There's certain things you want to sing.
Okay, my one thing is when I start talking about friends, I can feel guilty because I don't keep up enough with my friends. And, I think there's room for me to work on it, maybe. But I also my one thing is today just to let that guilt go.
Yes.
I am for sure doing the best I can.
Yes.
And, I think that my friends love me and know that. And I guess, shout out there if you're listening. If you haven't heard from me, just reach out. I'm not trying to, do anything. It's just, I'm just barely keeping up over here,
Yes.
And so letting that guilt go.
Yeah, you do not have room on your shoulders to carry that.
Yeah.
I mean, bless our hearts. We are so quick to just assume, just like we talked about earlier, that everybody else's life is perfect and we must be letting everybody around us down.
Right.
And we are not.
No, we're
not.
We're not.
Praise the Lord that He gives us that grace every single moment.
Yes.
I was reading this post by Beth Moore the other day where she was talking about how when we look at our kids do something and fail, we're usually not disappointed in them. We're usually like, it's okay. Let's go again.
Yeah.
But sometimes we assume that our Father looks down from heaven and sees us fail and goes, I am so disappointed in you.
Right.
And she said, why would God not treat us even better than we treat our children?
100%. Yes.
So instead of looking at ourselves with disappointment, look at ourselves and go, thank you, God, for that grace.
Yes.
And thank you that you are cheering me on every step of the way, and let me extend that to my mom friends.
Yes. Yes, because we all are stumbling along.
Truth.
And this life thing. It's
Truth.
not like any of us has it, where we're just walking perfectly. Mm-mm. And if you think somebody does, they don't. Let that go.
That's right.
Yeah.
And put a camera on their front door and watch what they do. No, just kidding. I have like this whole stalker thing going on.
You do have a little peeping Tom thing
going. Oh my gosh. I really don't do that. Okay.
I'm gonna be watching when my Ring doorbell goes off and it's your minivan. I'm gonna be like, look at her, she's out here
people
watching
with the
me.
Ring doorbells are posting stuff all the time. I saw someone post today like a picture of an animal on their front step.
Yeah,
it's like fun. Is it fun to like go back and look at your Ring
you
doorbell
don't have one?
and see? No.
Okay, somebody in our neighborhood was posting the armadillo. There's an armadillo that's digging up their flower beds.
It's
I
like
would
your
be so
own
angry.
personal neighborhood Netflix. It's like, check out what was on my Ring last night.
It is. Well, and then when you have the app, then you can see all the activity in your neighborhood. Like people can share things of sketchy
Y'all
things.
have your own sketchy app to share your Ring pictures.
Yes.
That's why I'm not getting it. I don't even answer my front door. I don't need a Ring.
Well, you have glassy. I can't see who's coming at the door. So, okay. Hey, sidetrack. Listen, we have a no soliciting little bitty sign on our doorbell.
Also have the baby sleeping.
Okay, I got rid of that one.
Truth.
I got rid of that one. I put the sticker on top that says no soliciting. I did have the baby sleeping for like
Forever.
4 years.
Yes. What? That's funny.
It worked. Nobody knocked on the door. Love that. Seriously, that's a life hack right there.
That's funny.
But so I switched it out to the no soliciting one. And anyway, yesterday we still had a solicitor. I'm like, I thought, what's the law? Does it matter?
First of all, it's the Rona. Why are you coming to my door anyway?
Don't knock on my door. You got the Rona.
That's right.
Yes.
I'm about to Lysol whatever you set down, so walk away, brother.
He was selling bug whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. I know you need business. Use social media.
Yes.
Why you got to come to my door?
No.
I don't want to talk to you.
This is 100 degrees outside, so
100
then you feel bad
million.
you got off from water.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't have any bottled water, so I'm like, what do I have in my fridge that my children have not drunk out of?
What a Capri Sun.
What a Capri Sun. That's what I got.
They would probably love a Capri Sun.
They probably would.
Okay, so let's talk about, I haven't thought about this yet.
I know. I knew you were going to ask it, and I'm like thinking in my head right now.
What are we saying enough to? We need to get better at practicing for this or thinking about things.
Well, I feel like I just have to have a running list.
Yeah, what we're saying enough to or what we can't get enough of.
What if I don't have it?
So I am saying enough to, do you have something?
No, go. I mean, you started first.
Well, you guessed.
Whatever.
Anything. I'm trying to think about what I am saying enough to. I am saying enough to being the cruise director for the childhood summer that's happening in my home.
Oh my gosh, do you wear the sailor suit and everything?
You know what? That would be really cute. But we can get in a bad habit where they're coming to me every day. What are we doing? What friends are we having over? Where are we going? You know?
Okay, let's do the opposite here. My children don't even talk to me in the morning.
That's awesome.
I don't even know that they're around until, I don't know, noon when it's lunchtime.
What?
Because I let them play video games almost all day. So.
Well, that's
so funny.
Pros and cons.
I'm telling you.
But that's pretty great.
I'm one step ahead. Let me tell you what's going to happen in 2 years. They are not going to talk to you. They're going to go straight to the video games, and then they're just going to come find you for food. Okay?
I mean, honestly, that does not sound like a bad life.
No, it's not.
Yeah, because I got this little one that's like, hey, where are we going? What are we going to do? All day long. And we're going to the beach in a couple weeks. So every day she's like, is it time to go to the beach? Is it
How many sleeps?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought of one that I can't get enough of.
Okay.
Fresh fruit.
Oh my
goodness. Because it's summer.
Yes.
And everything tastes so delicious right now.
So good.
And so I want to go to all the berry farms and pick all the different things because it tastes completely different when it comes right off the vine.
What is the deal?
It's like candy.
It is amazing. Yeah, yes. I told the kids yesterday. So, side note, Rebecca, we have a blueberry farm in our area.
It's in our neighborhood.
Yeah, it's not far. And so they had, they're doing time slots because of the Rona.
And that's a whole nother thing. I need to be knowing when the time slots are coming out so that I can get on the time slots.
Because she wants to go back. Rebecca wants to go back.
I'll go every day.
I thought it was awesome, but dude, it was hot.
Y'all, hot for fresh fruit any day.
It was worth it. I should have worn athletic clothes and not sandals. I was wearing sandals.
You did look cute.
I didn't know.
I had sprayed down with bug spray. I had my tennis shoes on and my sports bra. And you were coming out there with a cutie knot headband.
Okay.
And your little fun Old Navy sandals.
I didn't know what
she
this
thought
was
there was going to be like a photography op. And she was like, I'm going to look good. Yes, you did.
It was none of that. My hair was not washed. I had the headband on because my hair was not washed, so I get points for that.
Total. Oh my gosh, it still looks super cute.
But I was seriously standing out there, and I could feel the sweat rolling down my back. And I'm like, I made a bad choice. I should have on a sports bra. I put all the kids in like athletic wick-away clothing, you know.
Yes.
But was I wearing that? No. Yeah, so I came home
I don't know that you took a picture
fest.
of yourself with your children anyway.
Oh,
I saw the one of them, but you didn't have one with you.
I tried, but the sun was blazing. They were not in it for the pictures.
Okay.
So I had to take pictures when they were like just doing their thing,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
instead of us like taking a picture together. That was going to send them over the top. That was too big of an ask.
Oh my
But I didn't get pictures
We're going
of
to do
them.
a whole episode on how to take pictures of your kids.
That would be good.
I have all the tips.
Okay, good. I feel like I have tips too. Okay, we will. Okay, well, that's it for this week. We are wrapping up talking about mom friends. Go get you a mom friend.
Sounds like you need to go to the grocery store and pick one up.
Go pick one up.
Y'all,
be nice to them.
Instacart a mom friend to your door today.
Be nice to that girl. Give her gifts. Give her lots of grace. And then just hang in
I love
there.
it.
Hang in there. When you're at the pool this summer, go up.
Yes, go up to
Go
somebody.
up and just say, yo, what's up?
That's right. Swim
Let's
up
be
to them.
friends.
Swim up.
Yes. Super awkward. Just like pop up in the water.
Hey, let's be friends. Can I give you my number?
All right, so make sure that you subscribe to the Gather Moms podcast so that you do not miss an episode, because we have fun things planned for you on our next episode. So we'll see you next time.
Bye.